Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from Sort of Interesting, and today I'd like to talk about the canals, the services and this magic key. So we're just walking our way down to the services here at Maisbury on the Montgomery Canal, and this is actually a dead end just up from here. So this is around 7 miles down from the main Llangollen branch, but because it leads to a dead end where it's still being restored, you can see we've actually got a lot of still water, relatively speaking, that doesn't have much to disturb it. So you've got the lovely lily pads and stuff, which are great, but you also, with water that doesn't have too many boats and flow coming through it, get a lot of greenery growing, which isn't necessarily good. So here you can see we've got the service point itself. So we've got the L-sand disposal there for the portable camping style toilets. We've got a big old crane, which I don't think is in use anymore, I'll say that much. And then we've got a pump out point here for built-in pump out toilets. Of course, if we pan across, we've actually also got the water point there. So the magic key that I referenced earlier is a Canal and River Trust service key that unlocks almost all of the features at these various service points dotted around the network. So let's have a look at this beautiful location and what there is in it. How iconic is this for a bit of canal scenery? A humpback bridge next to a canal side pub, and then of course you've got the facilities here. That's just what the sign is, if we can zoom in on that, just so that anyone curious can have a quick read. So in goes the magic key, and open goes the door. As I say, you've got your toilets here, and you've got a proper, really good shower. Puts me in mind of going to the leisure centre in the old days. Going swimming with me mum on a Wednesday afternoon after school. So I prefer the camping cassette style toilets because you can just pick them up and move them if there's a problem, rather than the built-in pump out toilets, which would use the equipment in that little brick building there. Whereas here, with my humble little camping toilet, you just come to the giant toilet there, tip your toilet into it, pull the chain, you've got your tap with a tiny bit of hose. You'll see that in a lot of the service points to help rinse out your toilet tank. And then once you're done, clean it up, walk away, and well, you've got storage for waste on board for a good while, however long. And of course, as with both service points, there's the classic little pillar with two types of hose attachments to fill the water tank. So I'll just pop that little door open so we can have a look. So you can see we've got a simple lever in the middle, and you attach the hose pipe to the appropriate side and then simply move it one way or the other, and then obviously reset it to the central position and you're good to go. As we've said previously, this is a very quiet place for passing boats, so equally the services aren't used as much as other places, but you'll often find in these that there's a lot of books left. And in Ellesmere, sometimes there's a lot of books, like a miniature library's worth of books that people swap and borrow and take to the next services and leave there after they've read them. A very sort of traditional, bit oldie-worldy sort of thing. Now that has got to be a pretty rare sign, specifically forbidding you to ride a horse somewhere. But I think we can take that as pretty sensible advice. I don't think that you would last too long on top of a horse underneath this. If I spin it around, it actually gives you the context of how low it is, and I'm in the sort of central piece of the path here, not going too far over there. I'm only a short boy as well. I've always absolutely loved it down here on the Montgomery stretch. This is actually the closest part of the canal to where I lived in Oswestry, and so before I bought the boat, would be riding my bike out here and wandering around thinking, oh, one day it might be me on the boat. And as you can see, if I fetch the boat down here now, it would practically be only me on the boat. Lovely stuff, fantastic. So as you can see, that's a really lovely little facility there. Toilets, shower, 2 types of toilet emptying and a water point. And that's just out here on a really quiet section of canal. So some of the busier lines of water have got more frequent service points, and some that will then have things like recycling and rubbish disposal, as well as more space for more boats to moor up together and more water points to be used at the same time. And yeah, it's just a fantastic little network of services that are all part of what the boat licence pays for, but that's a whole other story with a lot of opinions on that, as you can probably imagine. But yeah, I'm a big fan of some of these little services because, like I say, things like the book collections and swapping and stuff that goes on, and it's got a very sort of friendly atmosphere. In the busy summer months, you'll have holiday boaters who've never been to one before being helped out by full-time boaters, other holiday boats, and general fun and games going on. So yeah, lovely stuff. So I'll admit, Charlie the dog was meant to be with me in this video, but it was pouring down earlier, so I decided it's safer to let him and Samantha stay in the car. Oh look, he's already looking at me. Hello, is there a lovely lady here?
Depends who's asking.
I won't answer that. Oh, lovely Charles, you're a good boy, aren't you? Right, should we get you home for your tea? Well, my friends, as I wrap this video up, I just want to point out that after all of the amazing sunny weather we had about a week or two ago, I've come out here on one of the most overcast, drizzly days. Oh, we've got some ducks speeding into shot here. Slow down, 4 miles an hour tops. But yes, as we look across the very flat, plain farmland around the Maisbury area, this little section of Shropshire, gotta say, I do love it down here, so quiet. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, my friends. Please do check out my other videos for loads more of boat life and things from out and about on the canal. And please do consider checking out my short boat life books, available for the Kindle and as a paperback. And yeah, until the next time, my friends, have an absolutely wonderful day. Keep it interesting, keep it boat worthy, and of course, my friends, farewell. If you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about when I say camping style toilet, this is a video I made way back in 2013, which I'm terrified to say has got almost 160,000 views. So it's just a really simple 2-piece toilet. And well, as you can see, it's pretty much what you expect. These are 2 separate parts. This is the bottom tank. This is, well, obviously the top tank. And the bottom tank is obviously the waste tank where all the unpleasant stuff is collected. So how do we empty that? Well, if I can talk just long enough to skip through to the right part of the video, let's see. Should, in theory, allow us to lift the top tank off. And then, well, you're separated out into the 2 tanks. And now we've got the waste tank on its own here. As you can see, it's got this tube to empty it by, which flips itself outwards. Once again, that cap there would be on this normally if it's in use. Goodness me, I don't dare think about what might happen if you haven't got that screwed on tight. I just thought I'd throw in this little bonus clip of Charlie seeing the ford across the road here at Maisbury, only about 150 foot or so away from the canal. I'd also like to thank my channel members and recent PayPal supporters. That's Chris G, Glenn F, Catherine S, and Vic S. Thank you all so much for the support.